Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of Jurassic World Evolution 3, and today we are going to build a habitat for the potato of the dinosaur world, the Lystrosaurus. So let's get started. The Lystrosaurus was perfect for this little gap I had between the Attenborosaurus lagoon and the Deinonychus habitat that we've built in the last episode, which you've, by the way, guys, really loved, and I really appreciate all the support, the likes, the comments, and all the new subscribers that they have been coming to my channel in like the last 4 weeks that I've been playing Jurassic World Evolution 3 consistently and uploading new habitats every week, and it really keeps me going and keeps my motivation high. So thank you very much, and also welcome to all the new subscribers. I believe in the last 4 weeks I've gained more than 100 of you guys, which is crazy honestly, and it just really makes me super happy that coming back to YouTube after I believe 8 months and now being consistent, and it also really just pays off staying consistent at the moment, which just makes me super happy again. And thank you very much and welcome to all the new people. In the last episode I asked you guys what small herbivore I should be putting into this little gap that you have over here, and you did have a couple of ideas, but I personally just was somewhat stuck with the idea of putting the Lystrosaurus in here. I don't know really why, but I just think it looks cute. It just looks like a little potato and I really liked it, and I just kept getting stuck with the idea for the Lystrosaurus, especially since it's one of the most smallest dinosaurs that we have in the game, and I thought it would be perfect for this little gap. In the end I realized that the area is even bigger than I initially thought for this dinosaur, so I could have technically even put something slightly bigger in there, but I still kept the Lystrosaurus and just made a little bit of a bigger group of the dinosaur, so there's always like one of them at least walking around in the little viewing areas that we will see during the process of building this habitat. I also had one idea from Pinterest where I saw a habitat. It was actually a indoor area, I would say, for otters. It could have been like the small-clawed otter or something like that, I don't really know, but it was definitely a small otter species, and it was like a relatively not natural habitat, I would say. So there was this little water area and then the barrier, and I don't know why, but I really liked this picture, and I took a big like inspiration especially from the barrier within there, so I pretty much copied it almost one-to-one. And while building also the like backstage area or housing area for the Lystrosaurus, where I use these weird walls, I believe they're called chukum or something, I don't know how it's pronounced, but I really liked the look of it and also the natural color, so I did also use this for the barrier, and since it's rounded at the top, I really like this look. I don't know why, but I just really enjoyed it, and I used this with the glass panel that we have, and that's basically it. It's super simple barrier, it's only 2 pieces, but I feel like this looks really nice and gives it like this unnatural natural look. I don't know how to pronounce it. Like you can see definitely that it's a man-made barrier, but it still looks natural enough, you know. And I really like the glass fencing. It was basically the same as for the habitat from the inspirational picture that I took, and I placed multiple of these glass viewing areas around the whole habitat. And then in between I filled in the gaps with the regular chukum wall, and I also placed a couple of rocks here and there to just make a little bit of a difference and variation within the barrier, so it does not look super plain, and that there also will be some areas that are just a little bit higher when it comes to the wall. So I did make a couple of rock walls in between, but I didn't really want to go overboard, especially since it's like a habitat that's in between the pathing and more or less just a gap filler, honestly, in this area, and not super like an eye-catching habitat or something like that. So I did want to go relatively easy, especially since it's a really simple dinosaur, I would say. and nothing too crazy. So I feel like this really fit the vibe that I was going for. And since this habitat is a gap filler, I also took the, let's say, the form or the shape of the habitat from the pathing that I already had. You will just see me later adjust the pathing slightly, so you will not be able to see the curves of the path, and basically fitting it really snugly to the barrier that we've built. And so especially the curbs are not visible, and that the pathing is right on the side of the habitat barrier. And for the terraforming, I didn't really want to go heavy with that, especially since the dinosaur is so small, has quite short legs, and it won't really be able to climb around or something. So I wanted to keep the habitat somewhat flat, but still give it a little bit of structure so it does not look too flat, if you know what I mean. So I just raise the habitat slightly, so there's almost like a tiny hill in the middle where the dinosaurs can go up and down, and also in front of the biggest glass panel wall that we have. We also have the little water area for the Lystrosaurus, and for the water area I also took inspiration from this otter habitat that I was speaking about. And basically I wanted to have it a, like, also again a natural unnatural look, so you can see that it is man-made. It's not like a regular body of water of similar to the other habitats that we have, but it is like a little pond that the staff built from or for the zoo, but it made them look almost natural for like faux rocks and stuff like that. So I tried to recreate it. And for the little water area that we have, since the water brush is quite large in this game, I used one of the pools actually that we have in this game and just lowered it into this little hole that I dug out in the habitat and placed it inside, and then covered the rest of the pool that was still sticking out with a couple of rocks. And I made sure to make it more or less flat so that the animals or the dinosaurs can still go inside, but it making still look natural enough where it could be a pool within like a rock formation or stuff like that. And then to basically blend out the rocks, I used this little blueprint that I made, or not blueprint, but a little group of smaller rocks with a little bit of grass in between that I've already used in the Deinonychus habitat, and basically just place it around in different areas throughout the whole habitat to already give it quite a bit of structure with all the different rocks that would have been around in this habitat. And also with this little piece of grass in there, it definitely helps to give a little bit of structure throughout the whole habitat without placing down a ton of separate pieces. So these little groups or these little blueprints definitely help out a lot, and I think I should definitely be creating more for this game. With Planet Zoo I had quite a bunch of different things that I've been either using from the workshop, or that I've been doing myself, or at least recreating from other creators or other blueprints that I've seen online, because I sometimes feel almost a little bit of guilt using blueprints that I found on the workshop. Since I am a content creator, I feel like I should be creating my content on my own, so I try to not use blueprints from the workshop, even though there's a bunch of crazy and really beautiful stuff that people have been creating, and it almost like flabbergasted me a ton of times with Planet Zoo and now also with Jurassic World what some people are building there. So there will be definitely stuff that I will be using from the workshop, simply because I do not have the nerve to rebuild them on my own. Sometimes with like cars or something like that, especially in Planet Zoo we had some cars that other people were building, and I'm definitely not that good in rebuilding these things on my own. So maybe I will reuse them sometimes, but I often again feel a little bit of guilt using them. So I try to at least make them on my own, or even just creating them for the workshop. I've been doing this for Planet Zoo, but now with Jurassic World Evolution 3, there's not much from my stuff on the workshop. I would have loved to always put the habitats on the workshop, but since the terraforming and the pathing is not copied when you place down the blueprint, I feel like this doesn't really work out, since I do most of the time quite a bunch of terraforming in there, and then for you guys to recreate it as good as possible so it makes sense in the habitat is oftentimes just a struggle. So I definitely will not be placing down the habitats in the workshop, at least the ones that have terraforming in them. For example, the lagoon that you can also see in the background, I uploaded it, as you will need to place down the lagoon on your own, and then it fits perfectly onto the lagoon, so this one works. But all the other habitats definitely do not work. So maybe they fixed it in the last months. I don't know, maybe you guys can tell me if it is possible, because in Planet Zoo it used to be possible. So sometimes I don't really understand why a couple of things are different in Jurassic World than to Planet Zoo, since it's the game or the same game developers. So I feel like they could have copied a bunch of things from Planet Zoo. Also, simple things as a favorites tab in the building tab. I would have loved to make a favorites for a couple of building pieces, or especially with foliage, because often I just keep scrolling through the foliage tab and don't really know what pieces to use, or I tend to reuse the same 3 pieces all over the time. Just because I'm not super familiar with the stuff, and I also definitely cannot remember all of the names. Sometimes you can search for stuff, especially in the building tab. Let's say you can search for metal, and then you will get all the metal posts. But especially with these really tiny and dainty pieces, I love to put them in the favorites tab to reuse them, as they can be quite versatile, these really small pieces. And you can basically reuse them for a bunch of stuff. But now with Jurassic World, I can't really do so, because I'm not really familiar with the pieces, and I cannot like save them for later. And if I forget what the building piece was called, or in what tab exactly I need to look for, it can be quite hard to find them again. So that's quite a bummer. And same with the blueprinting of habitats in Planet Zoo. You could basically blueprint the habitat itself by clicking on the barrier, and I don't know that we can do this in here. So it would be nice if Frontier could place these things back into this game, and to make the gaming experience, especially in Sandbox, a bit more enjoyable, similar to what it was in Planet Zoo. Also, talking about Planet Zoo, I don't know what you guys think, but I'm super excited for Planet Zoo 2 when it will be released this year. So you will definitely see me playing that game again as soon as it comes out. So I'm really excited. I also don't really know what to expect from Planet Zoo 2. I don't know if you would be interested in a video what I think Planet Zoo 2 will include, or what I wish what Planet Zoo will include in the second version of this game. I am just extremely excited, and I cannot wait. I do think that it will be coming out at the very end of this year, especially since we have not seen any trailers or whatsoever. We've just had this announcement, but I am already so stoked for this game. And definitely let me know if you are also excited for this game, or if you will be sticking with Jurassic World for the moment. Also, I would like to know if you guys like both of the games or only one of the games. By watching this video of Jurassic World, I would assume that you like Jurassic World more than Planet Zoo, especially I've seen other videos from Planet Zoo from other creators not getting all the views that they've been getting in the past. So that's also one of the reasons why I am not playing Planet Zoo at the moment, and rather sticking with Jurassic World, simply because of the views. Honestly, I would love to play Planet Zoo, but given the circumstances that I'm not like the most motivated person, to be honest, and that the outcome of the videos does affect my motivation also for playing certain games, I would think that I will not have the motivation to play this game and put so much effort in there, especially since the habitats take so much more time in Planet Zoo than in Jurassic World. For example, the Lystrosaurus habitat was finished in roughly an hour, and in Planet Zoo I regularly used to build habitats for like 4 or 5 hours, sometimes even more, depending on how large or how detailed it is, especially since I've been doing a lot of backstage areas, which I personally really like to do, but they are so time consuming, and I am not doing them in Jurassic World, so that's also one reason why I'm so much faster with this game, but also since it's just a pain to build indoors in this game, I'm not doing it, and I feel like you guys are also not really missing it. I don't know if you guys think differently of it for Planet Zoo. I would like to know, so definitely let me know down in the comments. And we will see when a Planet Zoo will come out, and we will definitely talk about it. And here is the finished result of the Lystrosaurus habitat. I really like the outcome, and I hope you too, and that you enjoyed the way I designed this habitat and the whole building process. Definitely let me know down in the comments and hit the like button if you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any more videos, and especially since this helps out my channel so much, so definitely hit that subscribe button if you haven't done so. You can now enjoy the cinematic shots of the finished result of this habitat, and I'm already saying my goodbyes, and I hope to see you in the next episode. Until then, bye guys!